Welcome to another video where we're going through and testing all the weapons inside of MW3 to see how viable these weapons are for us to be using inside of our Zombies game mode. It's going to include the aftermarket parts, the aftermarket conversion kits, and the MW2 weapons. So if you're new around here and you'd like to see how weapons perform inside of Call of Duty Zombies, make sure you subscribe, turn on those bell notifications because you're not going to want to miss out any future uploads from myself. As well, down below in the description, you will find the link for my streams. I stream on Mondays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I stream everything from MW3 Zombies all the way through to custom zombie maps. Generally have a ton of fun over there and would love to see you all come and hang out. Now in today's video, before we dive into anything sort of review related, I did want to show you my first game on today. Trying to record this video was definitely one you're gonna want to check out. So that's the footage you're looking on right now. As well, I do have to mention the channel growth has been through the roof. So just recently I got this email from YouTube stating the channel has crossed over 625,000 views. Oh my God, thank you so much. And this, as we approach so very close, less than 50 subscribers away from reaching 5,000 subscribers on the channel, which unlocks our fourth Black Ops 6 giveaway, which this one is going to be a Vault edition of on any platform of your choice. These type of giveaways are because of the legendary above and beyond support of the channel members. So a big shout out to all of you and thank you so much for going way above and beyond the level of support on the channel. Absolutely insane. Now I have completed the new event, The Walking Dead Road to Terminus, and I do think that the camo looks really cool, so we're going to be using that one in today's run. And then I wanted to touch base just a little bit and see how we are on the Battle Pass. I should be finished by the end of today, so let me know where you are with that. Now, today we're diving into Season 6, the Season of Buffs. They went ahead and made a whole bunch of buffs to the MW2 weapons. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at one in particular. This Fennec 45 received a pretty substantial buff. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the MW2 SMG, the Fennec 45, taking that through all three tiers, taking on bounty contracts to see how viable this weapon is for us to be using inside of our Zombies game mode. And hopefully by the end of today's video, you should have a really good feel how this weapon performs and whether or not it's going to be a viable option for you to be using inside of your Zombies games. So without further ado, let's dive into the Fennec 45 review video today. Thank you so very much for tuning in to today's video. I truly do appreciate that. Now, Season 6 has given us a whole ton of buffs to a ton of MW2 weapons. This one caught my eye. I was really intrigued to see how this would perform since the buff for this was quite substantial. So today we're going to go through and look at the Fennec 45 SMG from MW2. If you're new to the channel, when I spawn in and do weapon testing videos here, I put on all of my perks with no additions to the weapon to make it any stronger whatsoever, aside from running Deadshot Daiquiri, as I like the extra critical damage that it does provide. And then we go off and pick up our first bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 1. And we're going to be looking to take on this Mangler at just white rarity with absolutely no additions to the weapon whatsoever to see how the Season 6 buffs performed. And I was really impressed with just the base damage output on this SMG with the buffs that they had made to this weapon for Season 6. It was definitely impressive to see the damage that we were able to dish out to a Tier 1 bounty at just white rarity, which was absolutely amazing. So I was kind of eager to dive off and get to Pack-a-Punch, make sure I melee the machine and wait for the circle to turn green before I go ahead and use the Pack-a-Punch machine or my PAP crystals so I can keep that awesome Terminus event camo on my weapon. So now that we've increased the damage output by 1, I was, eager to get off and grab a second bounty contract inside of Tier 1, this time taking it on at, again, only white rarity. We have no ammo mods and no tools on the weapon. The only damage increase we have now is Pack-a-Punch 1. So I was eager to see what kind of damage output increase we were going to be seeing by taking the damage output to 1. And what is with mimics and glass? They seem to bug out if you start shooting them through a window. I don't know what's going on, but our first bounty here that was redoing Pack-a-Punched could care less that I was here shooting him. The Mimic was not concerned at all. I'm not sure if he was trying to figure out the code on the computer because he's going back and forth. So sorry, my friend, but that's the wrong code. So security sent me. So the next thing to do was to get have some fun with the final bounty contract inside of Tier 1. Now, we are incredibly overpowered at this point to be handling anything in Tier 1. Bounties, doesn't matter. We are legendary, we are pack 1, and we have an ammo mod on our weapon inside of Tier 1. So incredibly strong, and these bounty contracts are one I just simply love to do because you are so strong and overpowered. I mean, just look at that Mimic. Again, through the window, he just stood there and took the damage I was dishing out, so I'm not sure what's up with that. So now it's time to push into Tier 2 and grab our bounty contract, keeping the damage output where we were, seeing just how amazing this performed across all 3 bounty contracts we did inside of Tier 1. So it was off to grab our Disciple bounty contract inside of Tier 2, and I was just thoroughly impressed. And also, what is happening? Nobody even knows I'm here. Like, I'm not complaining because Disciples are definitely my least favorite bounty to deal with, but this was an opportunity for you to see the damage we're doing to the health bar of the Disciple bounty inside of Tier 2. But what the heck? Nothing even recognized I was even there. I mean, I was happy to go ahead and take the W and get the loot without much of a fight. Time to pull out the handy dandy pocket pack-a-punch machine, take this weapon to PAP level 2, legendary with an ammo mod, and track down our final bounty contract of today inside of Tier 2, and see how this performs now being legendary pack-a-punch 2 with an ammo mod inside of Tier 2, seeing how it was able to dish out you know, very, very decent damage to our first bounty contract, that Disciple inside of Tier 2. Now that it's Pack-a-Punch 2, I was feeling really confident, you know, heading over to engage into my Mangler bounty contract here. And again, what is going on? Why is none of my bounties in Tier 2 even understanding I'm here fighting them? I was so confused. I'm trying to get to the front of the Mangler so I can show you critical shots, but every time I do, he pulls a 180 on me. And then when I started shooting at him, he finally decided to engage. I have no idea what was going on with that. That is definitely the strangest thing I have ever seen. But I was happy as I was collecting a ton of perks before I made it into Tier 3. I only needed 2 by the time I got in here, so I was really happy for that. So it was time to dive into Tier 3. Visit the Der Wonder Fizz machine, grab all the perks that I need, as I love to do that. Someone in the area was working on the unstable rift pillars. So instead of, you know, shooting a bunch of zombies and causing them grief, I threw a decoy into the middle of their pillar so all the zombies would head over towards them to try and help them out a little bit. So the next thing to do, seeing as Tier 3, usually it has been recently for me since Season 6, has just been an insane busy shopping mall. So many people, contracts popping up on the TAC map, getting grabbed within seconds. So I wanted to do some crowd control here. We are Pack 2 Legendary with Shatterblast inside of Tier 2. And how does this Fennec handle crowd control inside Tier 2 with the Season 6 buff? Excuse me. And I was pretty impressed with the damage output at this. I mean, again, going into tac stance, you have the increased movement speed and virtually no recoil when you're in tac stance. But I was definitely feeling really confident using this weapon just at Pack-a-Punch 2 inside of Tier 3. Definitely not something that I was able to kind of just stand and dish out the damage inside of Tier 3. Being only Pack 2 did kind of have to be kind of pushing backwards a little bit to be able to make it effective, but it's definitely something that can handle Tier 3 and crowd control, being Pack-a-Punch 2 Legendary inside of Tier 3, which is awesome to see. Like, the buffs so far for Season 6 for all the weapons that I have run have been felt. I definitely have felt the buffs. They feel stronger, and I've noticed overall the MW2 weapons for me seem to have less visual recoil recently. So let me know if you guys have noticed that as well. So the last thing to do was to go off and show our good friend Zhorde, the Guardian of the Arches. Check out the new Fennec 45. They have buffed this weapon, Zhorde. It dishes out extra damage now. You should really check this out. Plus, Zhorde, you really want to check out the camo I have. This camo looks absolutely amazing. Definitely one of the best, one of my favorite event camos we got was this Terminus one. Let me know in the comment section which event camo that you've unlocked is your favorite. And if you have a favorite camo, what is the camo that you're putting on every single weapon to run? I did unlock yesterday the Constellation's End on my MW2 crossbow. So I'm going to be doing a video on that one short in the near future, so you guys keep your eyes open for that, and we can see how that camo looks. Man, it looks so good, I'm not going to lie. Now, I thought I was going to die right there when Zhorde was hitting me with his lasers, as I kind of forgot that I didn't have golden armor plates today and forgot to plate up while I was getting lasered. So I just, you know, repositioned, moved myself over here to the pathway to kind of control everything coming at me. We have a Mimic HVT in the area, and you can see how easy we are able to just kind of eliminate that HVT without much of a struggle. Now at max damage output on this SMG from MW2, and it's performing incredibly well. Very confident, dishing out damage to zombies in the area, and I've got to admit with you all, I think I might have had way too much fun with Zhorde today, and pathway making him turn 180s and engage with me and disengage. I honestly felt like this fight took too long because I was spending too much time enjoying myself, making Zhorde turn around and engage me and disengage. I was laughing my head off while recording this. It was definitely something that I was enjoying doing. You can see though, when we're able to hit critical shots on Zhorde, that we're definitely able to dish out an absolute boatload of damage. There's the second head off Zhorde gone already. My epic fail with a thermite that just managed to hit Zhorde in the shoulder didn't really do any good at all. I have the worst aim with thermites. Let me know if you have that struggle too, getting thermites to hit Zhorde or Mega Abominations in their open mouth, because you know, like a thermite to an open mouth can take them out completely. So like if you can hit your thermites, then you can definitely handle out, dish out a boatload of damage to Mega Abominations pretty easy. But I was kind of chuckling here as Zhorde is trying to engage and disengage. Fired up his laser attack. I got some critical shots into there, and then Zhorde was about to turn around, and I figured, you know what, it's getting. I think he's had enough of spinning around and turn around. That's an ode to stream if you've been watching. But we certainly made Zhorde turn around today. So here we are. We pushed over to get him to fire up his laser attack so that we can take out Zhorde, the Guardian of the Arches, with the Fennec 45 with the Season 6 buff. And you can see the power and the damage output on this. At max damage output inside of Tier 3 is absolutely remarkable. I am running Mags of Holding, so we're not reloading as well. Now, I was unable to grab anything other than Zhorde inside of Tier 3 with the volume of players inside of here, grabbing contracts and just completing them. Everybody had Scorchers, so you know, fair play to all of them. But I figured, you know what, we've got Season 6 allows us to go into the Dark Ethers, the regular Dark Ether, without needing a sigil. So I figured this is a perfect opportunity to head off to the Season 2 Dark Ether. I brought in a Mags of Holding. You know I like to replenish those. So we stopped at the buy station, picked up some sentry turrets, some Casimirs. We equipped one Casimir, stowed the rest in our bag, took off the self-revive we had equipped, and put that in our bag so that it is stowed. This is a nice little trick to save you 10,000 points. When you get into the Dark Ether, your Casimirs will go to 2, and you're equipped. You'll be given a self-revive to equip in your equip slot. So you can save 10,000 points by not purchasing the extra self and the extra Casimir, which is awesome. So we went and picked up the first bounty contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Ether, which was a Mangler. Now, you can see the damage that we were able to dish out to the Mangler when getting the critical shots is definitely going to make this a viable option. Now, I did not complete this bounty contract using the Fennec 45, as there was another Mangler in the area and just an absolute ton of crowd control in the area. So I wanted to show you guys like just how well this handles crowd control and, you know, all of the armored zombies and such coming at you in the Season 2 Dark Ether with the Fennec 45, because with the Season 6 buff, I definitely wasn't struggling, you know, to handle any of the stuff coming at me. I mean, you can see everything at the end of the barrel here in the Dark Ether is virtually just getting eliminated. So what is the most efficient way to handle a bounty contract as a solo player inside the Season 2 Dark Ether? For me, I have found it is to bring in one jug suit. You simply drop down your jug suit near your bounty so that, you know, you don't have to walk over to him with the jug suit, because you do move really slowly in the jug suit. And just, you know, kind of keep yourself a distance, keep yourself from taking a ton of damage while you're waiting for that jug suit to drop. and then you can make your way over and you should be able to clear out your bounty contract before your jug suit expires and be able to handle the majority of the crowd control around after your contract expires, so that you can get into the reward rift, which is what you see me doing right here. We got rid of the bounty contract. I know there's a mangler in the area. I know there's a disciple in the area. There's also a bunch of riffraff and crowd control to be dealt with, so I wanted to make sure I got the HVTs out of the way, which I did. Also, if you didn't know, you can get into your reward rift while you are still inside of your jug suit, which is absolutely awesome. So if you have any time left after taking out your bounty contract as a solo player in your jug suit, go ahead and make sure you head over to the reward rift and grab your loot while you've got your jug suit to protect you. So the next contract inside the Season 2 Dark Aether that I do is the P&D contract, the Outlast. So I stop by the ammo cache right there and replenish my decoys before I head in here, and I go ahead and drop my decoys down. Now for today's run, I managed to grab 3 extra sentry turrets, and I've been playing around with where to place them all for this P&D Outlast contract to find you know, what's going to be the most effective positioning to put your circuit turret or your sentry turrets. So that was the reason why you saw me place all 3 of them out here. I was kind of curious to see if this would be, you know, a little bit different of a method. I know they come from this side here. They spawn down that way. So I was hoping that the 3 sentry turrets on that side might just handle that side of the P&D contract for me. I also wanted to show you the entire P&D Outlast contract so that you can see how this Fennec 45 with the Season 6 buff handles extreme close situations that can be absolutely chaotic in here. And you can see now at the beginning of this Outlast contract, things were doing pretty well. I was feeling pretty confident. We were kind of casually hanging around. The sentry turrets were doing their thing, and we got to about 45%, and holy did things get turned up to 11. Manglers show up, which I was able to dish a ton of damage to in a hurry with this, which is awesome. The fire rate on the Fennec is amazing. It shoots incredibly fast, which is awesome. You can see we just evaporated that Mangler HVT inside of this Outlast contract without an issue, just like completely gone at the end of the barrel, which was awesome. Then we had another disciple spawn in. You see me chasing around in and out of the P&D contract here, as I didn't have golden armor plates. So I wanted to make sure that I was running over as many plates as I possibly could so that I can keep the armor on myself. But I mean, you can see how well it handles. You know, this is a tight, chaotic contract to complete inside of Season 2. I feel like this is probably the most challenging contract out of the 3 inside of Season 2 doing this Outlast. It's a small area with a ton of openings for the zombies to kind of come at you from just virtually 360 degrees. So it gets absolutely chaotic in here at times. Now, you do see me utilize my energy mine, decoys, and mantling over and back over the countertops because the zombies cannot go over them. So we finished that one up. That's 2 out of the 3. So the last bounty contract we need to do inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether is the Aether Extractors, and this is what we bought the Casimirs for. So I threw it right down at the base of the extractor. We interact with the phone and override our first Aether Extractor right there before our first Casimir ended. And I also got really lucky and picked up an insta-kill in the middle of that one, which definitely helped me complete the Aether Extractor contract inside of this Dark Aether. 100%. I mean, insta-kill inside of the Dark Aether is just heaven sent. So truly awesome. We threw another Casimir down right at the base of this extractor. We were able to finish it off before that Casimir finished again. Into the bag, grabbed the last 2 Casimirs that I had, so we can throw one to go ahead and complete the Aether Extractor, and then we can use my other one to go ahead and make sure we get into the reward rift protected. So if you want to make, you know, really easy work and make this really efficient, I recommend bringing in 4 Casimirs is all you'll really need to complete just about everything in here. We got a VR11 case out of that contract, which was awesome to see. So overall, I definitely enjoyed using this SMG for today's run. I had a ton of fun using it. I feel like the build that I used today definitely shoots about as laser straight as I could possibly get it, and dishes out about the most damage I could possibly get on the build for the weapon. So if you're looking for one with a little bit snappier ADS or a little bit better towards movement speed, there's definitely going to be some room to move on the build for that. So we'll show you guys that at the end of the video, but we definitely made out with some good loot. I was happy to replenish the mags of holding that I used for today's run. In fact, I managed to get out of there with double mags of holding. So I replenished the one that I used and got an extra one. So I call that a win, and we got a VR11 case, which is absolutely amazing for sure. Now, this is the build, as I always show you guys, that I used for today's weapon. So if you guys wanted to make any changes to, possibly make it a little bit snappier for ADS, possibly make it a little bit quicker for movement speed, let's work together down below in the comment section so that we all have one amazing build to use on this SMG inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. This is the brand new event camo, the Terminus, and the last thing to show you would be the blueprint that I used for today's run. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, be subscribed, liking, and commenting on the videos for your best chance to be in for the Black Ops 6 Vault Edition giveaway. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next one.